That is a heck of a tens drawing right there.
And a Zelsis drawing as well. These sketches are
gold.
Yo, that is golden right there. As always, a lot of talent out.
That looks like one of those those newspaper sketches they have.
Oh,
for,
yeah.
Those look really good. I mean that in a very positive manner. Those look really good.
Yes, very professional, very professional. Now it's time to get right into the Asian Select, though. Can't imagine we're going to see anything too wonky. And as I say that, we do see Sentinels going for the double controller here. Saucy jumping over to the Sky. John QT switching over to the Killjoy as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was expecting the only difference to be the Killjoy versus the Cypher for these agent comps, but instead, way different for the Sentinels. So that last time against Paper Rex, maybe they feel like, they've got a couple different agent compositions for this map. They're going to switch and try the other one. It was an absolute banger of an overtime match against Paper Rex on the decider of Haven the last time they played it. So going to give Team Liquid a very different look here. Liquid just going with that kind of stock standard Haven that we've come to expect with the Breach and the Sova. But over here we get Saucy on the
Sky.
the Sky. Like his bread and butter, man. He's so good at Sky.
He's been putting up some crazy numbers with that agent this tournament at the AVL. Now, of course, as you mentioned, last time Sentinels played Haven against Paper Rex, I mean, Jing made that crazy 4K on the rain on the last round, tied it up, and then eventually Sentinels had to squeeze out the win, 15-13 in overtime. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, quite an easy affair last night, 13-5 scoreline against EDG with this traditional composition. And now it's going to be the double initiators versus the double controllers as we jump in to map number 2. Take a look if Sentinels can get the clean 2-0 once again. Or will it be Team Liquid taking us to yet another third map for us? We find out on Haven.
It's crazy to think that Team Liquid wins both pistols on split. They couldn't get the map win. Of course, that Thrifty from Sentinels on their defender side was
helps a lot.
A backbreaker. Yeah, exactly. But now, maybe you think, okay, Sentinels starting on the defender side, if they can get a pistol round win, putting that Sheriff into Zekin's hands, maybe they can find some big value and kind of come out with a strong start. Liquid, on the other hand, going to kind of put some pressure towards C, see if maybe they can get tens. A little bit uncomfortable. Saucy and Zelsis going to be locking down Garage, and they're rotating pretty quickly off the back of this recon dart.
I mean, they've got the toxic screen as well from the side of Sentinel, so C side pretty well prepared for a retake. A bit of a slightly more forward screen, trying to line things up with the garage doors as well, so it doesn't entirely cut halfway across the map, but still going to cover that C-long entrance. Meanwhile, the early smoke coming out on that A lobby, so it's going to force out the drone from Team Liquid, trying to regain some information, forces that tailwind to be activated from Zekin. I don't think he's going to mind it too much, as he's still finding value in the form of no info, no vision being found yet on a target. Alarmbot still alive on B as well. Sentinel's just waiting for any movement.
Looks like plan B here for Team Liquid, and Keiko going to get stunned up, but nobody able to punish him. Off of it, is he going to try to push this angle?
Well, I mean, it draws the attention, and they're hoping they can break through Garage, but Sentinels is one step ahead of him, and Saucy still holding C-Link as well. Sentinels, they just don't bite the bait. They smoke it off. They say Team Liquid, what's the eventual movement? They find the main force, now stuck on the site. It's going to be Enzo stuck off of that stun with the Trailblazer. Two members now on this entry point from Garage. They're trying to create chaos, but it is just not enough as John QT wraps up the round, bringing home the pistol here for Sentinels.
There you go, a big pistol win for Sentinels. And, a lot of trickery attempted by Team Liquid, but once again, Sentinels very disciplined, don't really fall for any of it. And Saucy, once again, just reading these plays so well, tucks himself in that corner right outside of B-Link, just waiting for that jet to come through. Like, once they have a pretty good read here with Yampi drifting in towards Garage, they think that, okay, maybe this isn't actually a B hit, because usually the Breach a lot of times will want to sit out in front of B, right? He's not necessarily going to want to be in that Garage, so he can really find good value with the utility. It's a lot easier to get your Aftershock and things like that from the front of B, so that really kind of keeps it in Sentinel's minds that this is still very likely to be a C hit. They're allowed to hold their feet. And Yampi once again with that Marshall, not going to find the value, and it's going to be a double for Zekken.
Yeah, Zekken's just holding that line. Nats will eventually get a kill, but Zekken wraps up the main force and the spike. Stranded now on C-Long. Nats does pick up the Bulldog. Very quick push to recover that weapon, so there's still some hope for Team Liquid, but 10 shuts that down. Just with the classic Mystic all alone. Zekken even picking up the orb. He doesn't have quite a clear idea that there's still one lurking behind. He may be blindsided here. Now he's starting to get a bit of suspicion. Mystic just wants to see if Zekken will push into this, but with garage control here from Saucy, I don't think Zekken has any reason to do so.
No, yeah, if he pushes to the other side of this wall, you have a really good opportunity. He senses it, gets out just barely.
Oh, that tailwind right on point. Now it's just an aim duel with Saucy coming in for the trade, and Zekken will find his target. Gets 4 kills to kick things off for Sentinels as they lead 2-0.
Yeah, really nice try there from Mystic to at least pick one more up, but able to just barely get out in time as Zekken. Good reaction there to the paranoia. And this is pretty good shooting off the rip. Just again, not really taking much damage from those Marshals. Yeah, okay, Nats gets a gun, but 10 shuts him down pretty quickly with the classic. Had a judge to back it up. And there you go.
Good movement from Zekken, right?
Yeah.
Constantly going for the crowd just to make sure the headshots aren't easy to hit with that potential Marshal. And now he carries over the Guardian once again. Just another Vandal bought up for 10s here on the side of Sentinel, so still some heavy firepower. Team Liquid going to just pressure things a bit with that early utility, but Fault Line's still online. That's the big one they're going to look for on the execute.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there are certain types of utility that are kind of what you would call like leading utility that are going to indicate where the executes are going to want to happen. So Fault Line is the most obvious. That one is the one that usually is going to, not in the early part of the round, but in the later part of the round is going to be the one that often, with the way these teams play, is going to be the one that kind of gives you the real big hint. A recon dart as well can often give you a little bit of information the later in the round it goes, potentially. But a lot of times teams are using those to check their backsides, check their flanks, see what's going on around them.
Right, Aftershock just to force out some angles, and they spot Zekken. Zekken not going to be happy with that trade. Tries to get a cheeky shot on the feet. He actually gets sprayed down through the box there. Takes a lot of damage, has to get healed back up. This calls for the Trailblazer to push out Ace Sewers. However, only 35 seconds now on the clock with the alarm bot activated. This gives Sentinels a pretty good idea, so they're going to start to push out of A as well, getting ready for this pinch onto the B site.
And you got Nats sitting outside of garage doors, waiting for any lurks or rotations. The alarm bot, or not, excuse me, the turret as well.
Yeah, and everybody backing out. Team Liquid, they want to make sure they clear their flank first. Here goes the pop flash from Mystic. He's going to turn away from it. And Enzo helping hold that double angle. Paranoia not quite reaching all members as Keiko goes in, gets the double alongside Enzo, and the flank entirely demolished. Sentinels not finding any value yet here on the bonus round. Now with a Vandal and a Bulldog, it's already been quite weakened. Zelsis, the one holding the Bulldog, seeing if he can at least find one kill. But John QT, he would like to carry over this Vandal. If he gets a free kill, great. Zelsis, can he get at least one trade? No, he will just go down. Just an ult orb, 1 for 1. John QT, oh, now he's going to try to just stay alive, keep this Vandal going to the next round.
Yeah, I like the idea from Sentinels. You know, it's a really good kind of read of the map here by Team Liquid. Once they sense that it's B, they start pushing for those flanks because, you know, on the B site, kind of like I hinted at earlier with the positioning of the breaches, you want to play pretty deep because you've got those nanos, because you got the shock darts, because you got the breach utility to buy time onto B. So you'll see a lot of teams that like to get really deep into their own spawn to play safely. And this is a great reaction here by Team Liquid to say, okay, well, Sentinels are trying to get into our backlines to disrupt our post plant. Let's make sure that's dealt with. You know, we can rely on Nats to kind of watch the garage doors, watch the site, and everything else is accounted for. So both teams making good reads, good plays. It's just a slightly better, obviously, weapon arrangement for Team Liquid, but response as well.
Yeah, and Sentinels, once again, just a guiding light trying to see if they can bait out that fault line we've been talking about. That would buy them a bit more time before Team Liquid can strike, but Yampi has been very controlled with that utility, just waiting for the most opportune moment to make an advantageous attack.
Look at Nats. He's still in spawn. He's expecting some kind of aggression here, just watching for it.
I mean, they've given up that control on A, right? So Nats surely going to keep his eyes set on that part of the map. Meanwhile, the rest of the force trying to clear that podium, and Keiko barely staying alive. Takes a lot of scratches, but Yampi will be able to help clear that backside. So C given over in its entirety here to Team Liquid. Sentinels the early retake though. Here comes the Paranoia and the Guiding Light. Yampi a good anti-flash, but the snake bite right on his feet brings him down so low, below 50 HP. The Trailblazers trying to get more damage done. Tens now pinching in from Garage, trying to find anyone on their exit. Team Liquid, they have to pick and choose their battles. They don't want to leave the site empty too early. They'll slowly start to creep out as they now believe they have enough time. Still another flash. Keiko left on the site, buys enough time for his teammates to regroup. On C-Long, the drone trying to get the tag onto the diffuser, can't find it. The spray down comes in. Smoke going to clear. Half still not done for Sentinels. They are starting to run out of time. The trades come through and they have to dash out. Sentinels, they cannot sit on it and they have to give up the round. Team Liquid catching up 2-2.
Tremendous post-plant defense here by Team Liquid. The delay that they set up here is so nice. First on the point of attack, and they bait out so much of the Sentinels' utility there. You're out of flashes. After Saucy's flash is played anti-nicely by Yampi, and they have the Nano Swarm at the entrance of the site to delay this even more. There's no more flashes left. Saucy had his last one. Paranoia was already used by Tens. So this retake is going to be really, really difficult. And they know that. Team Liquid is just a fighting retreat, you know, kind of backing out as they need to, getting those angles, getting those crossfires set, saving that Sova utility to get the spots onto the potential diffusers. Really, really tight stuff there from Team Liquid.
Yeah, and curious to see if after this timeout coming out from Coach Kaplan, if we're going to see any different setups from the Viper, right? I mean, on the defense, yes, we've seen it very often used to help hold that back line of C-Site, help hold Garage. But right now, with the breach, they just saw that entry, right? They're using that vault line to make sure they clear the platform, they clear that pocket that Team Liquid has identified as being made with this toxic screen. And so they can't hold on to the site no longer, which means they will have to go for the flank on the retake, but Nats is on the other team. A little bit too scared to do that as well. So Sentinels going to scratch their heads to figure out what's the different setup here. How do we start to minimize the map just a bit further?
And it's been tough to read Team Liquid's pushes here because they're not using that leading utility like you're talking about as early as you would expect. They're able to get pretty deep before they have to start using their utility, and that's making the reactions from Sentinels a little panicky. Like you're using that Paranoia earlier without any backup to punish that push through that choke point onto C main, and Nats just waiting for
Yeah,
second.
this is pretty telling, right? You hear the Blade Storm, you see the instant clear on the turret, you hear the spam. You've seen it time and time again. It's not a guarantee, but it doesn't hurt to wait, just like Nats did.
Yep.
And that is the Blade Storm down for Sentinels. Only 2 rifles in hand. Saucy is all alone. Backup now arrives from John QT. So a Vandal is on the site. Drone going to catch sight of at least one. Hasn't spotted Saucy just yet. This is all just to set things up for Saucy. The rest of the members coming into heaven. John QT gets one. Saucy still hiding away. Has he been spotted? He finally has, and he will go down to Yampi. Not much other action as Mystic hiding in the smoke with the shorty, and the jump down from Tens. All right, testing his limits a little bit, able to catch at least one member by surprise, but that will be the round going over.
I like how they recon darted in there just to see if he was going to stay up there or not. It's so funny, but somehow he catches him off guard. I mean, Tens is so tricky there. To even get one out of this is kind of impressive, to be honest. Yeah, like you said, this was read really well. Through the turret, try to set him up, and not going to fool Nats, no doubt about it. Saucy able to be spotted. You know, again, like you said, trying to hide him in the corner, but not going to really work out. Now Zekin with the op. Everybody else, full rifles, engaged, some half armors, of course, some spam though. Gonna back Zelsis off.
Oh, this is fast.
Yep.
I mean, Team Liquid, they are changing up the tempo now as well. So the macro game, the mind game's coming in, the conditioning, trying to clear out any potential Killjoy utility. Not going to find too much as the turret has been posted up high, but because of that heavy pressure, John QT finds an opportunity to push deep into C-Long. This allows Sentinels to stay very focused on the A side as they now have free reign on the west side of the map.
And one thing I like that I've been seeing from John QT is the diversification of his utility. He's putting the alarm bot in funny spots. He's like putting it on the ramp up to B. This time it was initially up in the garage right by the jump spot, but now he picked it up because he's starting to move away from it. I think he was expecting to try to make a faster rotation, but you can see the backside so well covered here by Nats on his Killjoy. There's always a turret here to watch for these flanks. They're starting to spread the map. Saucy only going to see Keiko, but with that Jet there, you're going to keep that kind of lean towards the A side. Now they're going to try to fake the other way, but Zekken gets the opener.
Yeah, but that's the vault line. It draws out a lot of attention. You see Zelsis rotating over as well, and Yampi, his job is done. Now it's up to Keiko to get the kill. However, Sentinels, they had a very healthy default, so they're not getting off the site just yet. It's going to be a double near sewers, and Saucy even gets the first kill. Seeker's online, waiting to use it. It's at down to the 15-second mark. He gets the call that they don't need to use it anymore as backup has arrived. Zelsis gets one kill onto the Flying Mystic on the box, and Team Liquid running down on the clock. Nats will get a clean double, but he just does not have time to secure the round.
Oh my God. Nats there just comes out of nowhere. I mean, this guy is so smart, so tricky with these timings, able to sneak through Link just at the right moment. But it's a great read from Sentinels. They don't bite on the attempted fake over at C. It helps that Zekken gets the initial kill as well, but like you said, you expect on the back of a fault line that that's going to be the direction they're pushing, but I think because they get the spot onto the Jet, they get the spot onto Keiko, they're able to keep their feet planted here with a couple over, keep Zelsis leaning towards that A side with the Viper to come in for backup, and it's really nicely held there by the Sentinels on that side. And
I mean, they had John QT down on C-Long Cubby as well, right? And this time the operator's still finding good value. An early fault line to try to catch up or at least push him out. They'll get the latter of that deal. Now, the Odin in hand for Enzo. We've seen what he can do with it across multiple maps.
Oh, the post plan is so nasty here for Team Liquid. Oh, look at all these ults.
They have a lot going, but Zekken is going to find the read, the Mystic all the way in the corner. That weakens it quite a bit. The lockdown now being pressured by Sentinels. They want to catch up to it. John QT should be able to clear it just in time. It will be destroyed. Just barely dodging out of that Odin spam. This time, can they at least get the half early? The Rolling Thunder comes out, and Team Liquid, do they peek off of it? No, they're happy to just buy time. They have that Odin. They're trying to make sure the Hunter's Fury comes on as well. So many tags, and he's going to get a double on there. Actually, it's going to be his teammate as well going down. 3 kills, one of which he did not want. And can they get the latter half in time? It will be more than enough as Sentinel secures the retake.
All right, so this is super well read by the Sentinels. They understood all of these ults and their positionings and where they were going to be stacked up. So it helps they get the opener, of course, and then they clear out Mystic as well behind that box. But they use the Seekers, their only ult, to clear the lockdown. Then they know the Rolling Thunder is going to be posted up into Cubby. There's the Snakebite in there to make it a lot less comfortable for the side of Team Liquid to be able to push off the back of that. They use their utility to make sure that the Rolling Thunder can't be punished. And then even though there is that Hunter's Fury, there's just the numbers left for Sentinels. It doesn't you know, hurt that Team Liquid took out a member with their own Fury.
Keiko going very deep, but Nats is actually going to be the one that gets the first kill. Keiko gets some damage onto John QT. That will force him out, but doesn't quite secure the kill. So now Team Liquid, they can get the plant, but they're going to be stuck on the middle part of the map. Still have Nats' utility watching their flank, so they will safely retreat. Aftershock already gone, only 2 shock darts available for Enzo on this post plant alongside that Odin. Okay, the pressure onto Garage. Trying to keep Sentinel at bay. Oh, this is a pretty fast flank here coming out from Nats. Just waiting for the contact from Mystic. He's waiting with the shorty. He hears 1, he hears 2 footsteps, and it's going to be 1 kill for him. Nats, unbeknownst to the Sentinels team, he sees 1 up top. No, he hasn't found Zekken just yet. Finally finds his target, but it's too late as the scope comes right back in. The vault line to draw them off of the spike, and now the Odin trained up. There's the bounce off, and it's going to be Yampi who cleans up that kill. Operator has to be saved as Team Liquid ties it up once again.
Yeah, great timing, great senses from Nats as usual. Able to find that moment right through the garage to backstab. Like you said earlier, the utility in the background, able to keep the flanks of Team Liquid safe, able to give Nats that opportunity to find that quick rotate through, get some high impact kills. I like kind of what Sentinels is doing here. They're buying some good time, but also a flash doesn't catch Mystic in that smoke, and that doesn't alert Sentinels to his presence in there, and he's able to find that shorty kill as well, making things a little bit more difficult. So not bad at all. John QT now has his lockdown. And there's no counter.
Yeah, well, the counter operator here for Keiko, but it just gets shut down. Wanted to touch on that, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered. Taken out of Keiko's hands, not having a great map for the Jet of Team Liquid. But the overall team still trying to get the lead here for the first time, or try to get it back rather after that third point. That's going to be the lockdown used early from Sentinels because they've already cleared out A main. So even if this lockdown eventually gets destroyed, which it's still alive and healthy, they can't quite get the spam through it just yet. Yampi gets a kill for his troubles, does clear out Saucy, and that means that he can now go on the counter lurk here.
Oh no.
Here's 10's kind of creeping by, catches his target, and that has weakened the retake quite a bit. But the half is being stuck. He's just going to go all the way through. They need to get the spam, and it's going to be Enzo eventually picking up that second kill.
All right, this is nice recovery by Team Liquid. Looks like it might get a little dicey with that lockdown surviving, but with that Odin and Operator still in hand, really tricky for Sentinels to kind of find the opportunity to get in there and just get what they need to do done. Hold that plant, not going to be easy. Good opening pick there. Jump peek a little bit, but gets caught doing it. 10's just not expecting Yampi's position. You'd expect that player to potentially be a little bit more forward position towards the plant itself, but instead it's a lurk from Yampi, paying huge dividends. Fault line out early, a flash to try to stall this, see if they can keep Zekken hidden with this Sheriff.
If he can find even one shot, that was slowing it up quite a bit, and he will get it right before the tailwind out.
Now he's got Blade Storm.
Well, that's the setup that they wanted here from Sentinels. It allows them to have a bit more firepower, and he will activate it as he gets into safety. He wants to make sure he holds on to it. Get ready, set up for an angle. The flash earlier, hoping a lot from Saucy.
Yes, that was great timing there, great recognition. The fault line comes out, and it's an immediate response from Saucy. Really, really nicely done. Now you've got some real potential here for Sentinels.
Yeah, I mean, they've already cleared out C Long. Look at John QT's position. They know this is still meant to be an A hit. And with that second fault line that even draws Zelsis over as well, Team Liquid, they need to make up their mind here. They still have time to rotate, but they just don't have any information, and everybody's spotted, gets stunned up, so the Paranoia not going to find too much value. Saucy not able to stay alive, but Zekken clears one. He can't get the second jumping headshot. And now it's a 2v2, but weak weapons on the side of Sentinels. They can't get in range for the rifle. On QT, quite fast though. Team Liquid, are they aware of this timing? He is already wrapping around main. Celsius just constantly drawing their attention towards heaven. And John QT, oh, he gets spotted, takes so much damage. We'll pick up an Operator. If he can hold this angle, it's up to Celsius to now be able to open things up. And John QT not going to find the swing around. The Stinger, the legendary run and gun, will it happen? Celsius clearing up the turret first. Can't get one out of the two at all, and Team Liquid, they extend the lead 6-4.
I love this post plant setup from Team Liquid. Even though there isn't any utility, like in kind of what you would expect to be the normal spots to check for the lurks, for the flanks, by Nats, because they're able to control enough of the site, they're able to identify that, okay, there's one player left up in the back of the site. The other one could be lurking, but we're just going to use the turret to watch the entrance from A-Link, and it's just, Mystic is like, okay, my job as soon as I plant this spike is to check long A, to make sure that there's nobody flanking there. That's immediately what he does, and that's just great awareness, great planning from Team Liquid for that post plant.
Yeah, and I think Team Liquid finally picking up with the fact that, you know what, let's not try to hold on to this util till the very last minute. Let's just slowly start to push Sentinels out step by step, especially with the Odin. I mean, whenever this team picks up that weapon, Enzo becoming just as paranoia incarnate for his opponents.
And look at this, the Sentinels kind of sensing that maybe a lockdown wants to be put into sewers here, and they're trying to guard it. Nats right around that corner. Not going to be moving for now. Smoke does come down as they use the Owl drone to try and get a little bit of info. Yampi's going to line up with that fault line and trying to be a B hit. Nano's popped. Just delaying here long enough, I think.
Well, they're gone pretty early, so it's going to be Team Liquid just slowly filing in. Keiko's still available for the fight. The plant will go down, and he only gets one, but Zekken now remaining alone on the site. He goes down and is down to Zelsis with 10 HP as Yampi swings around for yet another kill, going up 7-4.
Yep, it's really nicely dialed up here by Team Liquid. Just no problem waiting, get right towards the entrance, kind of catch some players swinging it in. Easy money. Lockdown eventually does come through into sewers, kind of to cover the B site there, so kind of the the backup plan in case Liquid had to rotate one way or the other. If they go A, they can put it in the cubby there, right to Natz's left. He catches TenZ right before the paranoia hits as well, making things all the more difficult there.
I mean, this is just well set up, right? Especially because that defensive smoke kind of keeps Nats at bay. If anything, it gives him a bit more awareness that he can't just go for a blind fake. The classic from the shadows into C-Link. This is going to be a fast round. Keiko now going for the pinch. Paranoia onto the site. Keiko covering the entry point coming in from B site. Second gets one. He tries to dash out, but Keiko is locked in. Enzo will be cutting his Hunter's Fury in time to identify TenZ, trying to get that cheeky Omen ultimate. Now the double team, Saucy and TenZ. If Saucy gets one kill, the Seekers come online. TenZ going to be the entry man here. Oh, and it's just a spray as Nats holds left click, brings the half to an 8-4 lead.
What a time to dial up a fast hit here. Right on the back of that Omen ult, able to find the space for Mystic where there isn't anybody, and it's just chaos in the back lines for Sentinels. Yeah, Zekken had a really good half there, 15 and 7, but nobody else with more than 5 kills on the rest of Sentinels, just struggling to find some success. And I mean, these last couple rounds, they're all over the map. They're reading the Sentinels' timings and position so incredibly well. Nats is right back to normal. He has done such a great job, not just with these timings on these lurks, but his utility placements and the way that they think and the way that they play off of it as well has been really, really impressive.
Yeah, one of those rounds where they were able to get that B plant, and finally they understand that Sentinels has figured out their post-plant scenario. Nats starts to push in much faster, right? So this adjustment, you know, surely coming in from both him and his teammates to utilize him a bit with a bit more mobility has given Team Liquid a couple more options on the attacking half. However, it is Haven. An 8-4 score line could be flipped at any point, and it's all going to start with that pistol. Sentinels finally winning their first pistol here on Haven. They lost both on Split. If they can recreate that magic on their attacking side, things might be looking up.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I think with the Viper, it gives you a little bit of extra flexibility on your attacker side to kind of work the map, try to confuse your opponent a little bit. Of course, you do lose some of that deep information that you're able to gain off of the Sova. So that's the trade-off there, is you're trying to control the space and the information on your side of the map a little bit better as best as you can. But we'll see exactly how the Sentinels are going to dial it up. Again, we didn't get to see this comp from them the last time in this event, so it's going to be a little bit hard to judge exactly how it's going to run.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen the double controller quite a few times.
Sure.
Gotta imagine, yep, that screen comes up, cutting through a lobby all the way into a link as well. And normally you want to use that quite liberally to start the mental stack against your opponents. However, 4 rounds behind, Sentinels are going to have to commit to one or the other, and it looks like for now it's going to be some heavy presence off the A side, but then they hear these spams coming through with the double sheriffs, and it's like, I don't know if we want to deal with that. This is a fast rotate out. So they heard 2 sheriffs being shot out on those beats, and that allows them to identify, okay, B site is going to be the weak one. They're watching the garage push, but it's going to be a double flank from C Long.
Turret to play off of potentially here for Zelsis, but it's not pointed the right way, so he's going to have to win this fight. He can't. Nats with the sheriff gets the headshot.
But look at the positioning from Second. John QT barely stays alive, but this is all set up for Second to be able to wrap all the way around to C-Link. Saucy barely staying alive, and he's, oh my gosh, Enzo! He reclaims his ghost in time to get the turnaround kill at the jump peak as well on this double. And it's going to be Team Liquid taking over the site, sticking it all the way to the end as the teammates will protect him. John QT finds a cheeky shot through the smoke, but oh no!
Oh, come on. Give him the knife. Give him the knife.
Oh man.
This is Pacific.
That was like the perfect moments before disaster shot right there.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, this is Pacific territory. You knife out here. We Tondo Gaming out in Pacific. But,
I mean, look at this.
This is nasty, dude. Dude, this is... They're all over the map again, and Sentinels just has no idea. Like, the turret's not in the right place to check for the lurk out along C. It's there to watch for the garage exit. And it's just like completely just Sentinels have no idea. Oh, that shock dart is massive.
Well, yeah, 2 members scratched down quite low. The spray downs as well. Double Bulldog, double Spectre for Team Liquid. Trying to be prepared for a bit of chaos. However, it's just a sheriff for now. Keiko gets one, but it's set up the trade for Enzo. He knows he's scratching it out. The next shock dart should find some great value. Everyone just barely staying alive on the side of Sentinels. They're still grouped up, but backup has arrived.
All right, well, Enzo just going to start spraying through, and yeah, the shots from Tens alert him to the presence of that player, and it's going to be Yampi with the Bulldog finding the kill. And Zelsis and John QT, a Sheriff, some util to work with potentially, but you got to get to the spike. That's the real issue.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do. You even have Nats watching all the way into their spawn just in case. You've got that turret watching B site connecting into A link. Team Liquid aren't taking any chances. Okay, Enzo wanted to greed for a couple more ult points. Will sacrifice that Spectre, but it cannot be recovered from the side of Sentinels. They are just holding left click. They're starting to drop a couple more weapons than they originally bargained for. And while they take the round win, considering the investment, I do say they took some damage.
Yeah, you'll take that round as Sentinels, but already being down 10-4, you know, is that going to be enough economic damage? Keiko already going to once again snapping up that operator early. That's a nice little shot, but Saucy able to find a good headshot. And again, that spam alerts to the presence of Tens. John QT hitting some crispy ones with that Sheriff, though, man. That pistol round, he had 3 kills, that one through the smoke, and then here, finding some impact with it. So it is what it is, but for Sentinels, it might be too little too late. Smoked off, even.
Yeah, and with that operator online, you also have to imagine Sentinels starting to get a big concern about the potential Odin coming online in future rounds as well. With this bonus, Enzo only sticking with that Ghost. The only further investment was that operator, and it's already pushed out so aggressively on C Long as well. I mean, Team Liquid, A site locks down with the Killjoy utility. They know that this is Garage and or B. The paranoia keeps him at bay. Trailblazer goes down. There's the fault line. I mean, they are funneling them right into the middle of this map, and that stays a bit too long for that duel. But there's one more. Second, he got the spot, but he can't hit the shots as he lands on top of the generator. Yampi already filling back sight. He's trying to stay alive, waiting for backup. Oh no! Zelsis not watching the right angle. Mystic able to just creep right on by.
No.
Sentinels has no idea. There's no way they suspect this. Stomping back for the plant. Mystic, he's just waiting for someone else to check the angle.
Spike planted.
Oh, a twist of fate. The guiding light goes out as well.
Oh my God.
Watching Link. Saucy finally finds the target, but not in time to get the kill, of course. That means Zelsis also hidden away as well. So Sentinels, they will eventually pick up that kill. And Keiko will go down. So the round goes over to Sentinels, but dropping 3 rifles.
Yeah, I thought that Keiko should have just saved there on that 2v1. There's low odds that he's going to be able to win that fight. You know, still the utility as well in hand. For the Viper. I like the start, though, for Team Liquid. So that smoked off turret just completely freezes Sentinels. They don't move a muscle. They just all stand there around their spawn waiting. That allows Keiko to push a lot of space, get that information, and allows them to read the map so incredibly well that it's just B. They're able to do a ton of damage to Sentinels, but they lost that operator. The Odin going to be invested a judge for Keiko this time around, so the money has to be spent in different ways, maybe ways you wouldn't ideally liked for Team Liquid after that attempted kind of 1v2 retake for Keiko. Not going to come through. Now it's just a full-on A hit. There's nothing here but nanos.
Yeah, but they did hold on to that fault line for Yampi, right? I mean, not committing to it for this push onto A, so that means a retake surely in the works for Team Liquid. 1 kill from Enzo, and that would mean the Hunter's Fury comes online as well. We know how quickly he can pick those up with the Odin. I mean, he just knows where to go for those hits. A delayed lockdown from the attacking side will keep Team Liquid at bay, so if they want to go for the retake, they have to jump right as the trigger ends here for that Killjoy ultimate. The spam coming through to keep Team Liquid at bay. The smokes come out, and here we go. The fault line is out. Keiko lands. He only has a judge in hand, but he's trying to clear the site. Allows Nats and Mystic to pick up the kills as he's just been running circles. And there's the recovery from Mystic. Keiko finally picking one up for himself as well. Second all alone. They know his location. There is the Odin. And that's going to be the retake for Team Liquid.
I mean, I love this from Team Liquid. They have so much util left. Like you said, the fault line, but so many other options as well. The paranoias, shock darts, just everything in the kitchen sink there. Mystic just reading things so well. Plays the anti-flash perfectly off of Saucy, trying to come in. And there's no util left, really. There's like a paranoia in the flashes for the side of Sentinels, but they have no mollies for this post plant. They have none left by the time that the front line defenses has already been breached, so they have to play up close and personal. Team Liquid knows it, and they're able to just expect those pushes out of the smokes.
Yeah, and that's now the Hunters here online alongside the Odin here for Enzo. Of course, we do have the Seekers for Saucy as well, so, you know, an option for Sentinels, but not full firepower as Tens has to resort to the Marshall. Second getting spotted, kind of big intel. You know that that main duelist still stuck in the middle of this map. And look at that aggressive alarm bot right next to the toxic screen as well. It hasn't been cleared yet. So Team Liquid able to just focus on a main. Swing out. Oh man, unfortunately it's the Marshall right there and he can't win that fight. The Seekers will be used and Team Liquid happily exiting. A couple members low on health.
Trading the nanos for the Seekers here, basically. It's going to be another retake, and again, not much util for the side of the Sentinels. Team Liquid even trying to, and he got the tag, can't find the follow-up.
Yeah, but that allows for the angles to be opened up. That's what we'll get to, but John QT fires right back. The shock dart not landing onto its target, but a 1v3 for the IGL of Sentinels. Can he isolate these 1v1s? Still dodging all the utility. Trying to find the early peek off the dart. Clears it, and not, okay, he will find the target. A little bit delayed, but he'll find the kill. Identifies Yodin, but he's so low. The left click just going to be held. John Cutie wins through that. He's on for the ace, and Keiko, oh my gosh, takes the risk of peeking back out, afraid that John Cutie is on the approach, and Team Liquid will make it to map point.
Match point.
It's hard to play it much better than John QT did there as a Killjoy without any utility.
I mean, you know what they say, that kid can frag.
He can, he absolutely can.
QT bringing up a lot of firepower here for Sentinels, but it was just...
the Paranoia is a step too late. Just a little bit off with the timing there for Team Liquid. That allowed him to adjust to that extra heaven push from Mystic. But John QT so close, so close. Oh man, and map point, send us into map 3. I want a sunset. I want a sunset so bad.
Yeah, I would love to watch a sunset here, especially, I mean, Sentinels, they've been iterating on it time and time again. Some clear weaknesses, but some good strengths as well. Curious to see how it stacks up against Team Liquid, who has been skirting around it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. There's no info on what Team Liquid's going to do on that map, so quite curious to see.
You got to imagine, I mean, if John QT gets that ace, it denies map point, and that's the type of ace that really can swing the momentum here for Sentinels. But unfortunately, now they have a long road ahead if they want to take it to overtime for a shot to wrap this match up 2-0.
Yeah, it's so close there for John. Again, it's hard to play it much better than that. I mean, it helps that that Paranoia just barely off kilter in the timing, but still, I mean, it's all headshots for him, and he's just really on point. Now to make matters worse for the Sentinels, there's a lockdown for Nats. Yeah, there's a Blade Storm to back up this operator as well. Could come into play. Just a Bulldog for Saucy. So things are very, very challenging. You're one away from a couple ults, one away from John QT's ult as well, so maybe if you can find a way to sneak in an orb, but it doesn't seem like Sentinels are even interested in that. This is full on the spike right with Saucy here. John QT covering.
Just looking for someone to peek out, right? I mean, they were looking for the bait. Now they recognize that the Odin is there, so you can't activate that Trailblazer too close. Trying to spray down on the Cubby and mid as well. I mean, Enzo just, he does so much training on these maps to find the exact angles, spam through the wall. However, amidst all this chaos, once again, Keiko pushes up all the way on C long. The rest of the team able to focus in here on B. The early lurk on Mystic and Ace Sewers allows them to empty that site as well. The drone out. Team Liquid taking a bit of a risk, potentially peeking out entirely. Oh, they're funneling them in to C site, but Zekin now goes down, and that's one less option for Sentinels as well. They don't have any ultimates to activate this execute, and it's going to be Zelsis opening up the middle of the map.
30 seconds
left. You can see that Team Liquid very happy to play aggressive on the other sites to give up space on A. They like their retake chances against this double controller comp on the A side a little bit better. This time around, Tens is going to have a Paranoia. There's a snake bite left for Zelsis. Shock Dart not going to hit John QT again. He's able to dodge these really nicely.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he just sees the future, knows the location. And now, here comes that lockdown. John QT has to spend this with his life. There's the alarm bot, and Keiko trying to find the kill. Not able to just yet. Lockdown still ticking by, but the operator good for another. Still a 3v2 advantage for Team Liquid. Pop flash at the ready. There's the anti-flash from Mystic. He'll be able to swing out for the trade. It's a 2v1. John QT shows his back as the smoke dissipates. And we are going to go to a map 3 between these two teams.
Yeah, absolute masterclass here on the defending side, showing how to defend against this Viper comp on Haven. Again, giving up space comfortably on the A side quite often just makes it insanely difficult on these retakes. There just isn't enough utility left for the Sentinels in these post plants to really stop, and you're having to rely on these pop flashes from Slashy that are just shut down every time by Mystic. I mean, he did a phenomenal job at reading those. Everybody's in the right position at the right time. I mean, Nat's doing a wonderful, wonderful job throughout this entire map, just being an absolute nuisance as that Killjoy all over the map, finding great timings. Yeah, Team Liquid, just a super great read here. And with Sentinels trying that new composition, different than what we saw against Paper Rex when they barely beat them in overtime, didn't quite go their way. It seems like there was still some work to be done.
And we see this a lot with the double controller on Haven. It has its strengths, but a big part of it is that you really have to utilize that toxic screen to maximum efficiency. And we saw several ways that Team Liquid was prepared to shut that down. I mean, even in that last round, the cheeky one-way from Mystic and then hiding out in sewers past the screen. It doesn't allow Sentinels to get that early control, and then they're running out of time, as you mentioned, running out of utility. So something to work on for the Sentinels moving forward, something to still figure out in terms of which composition they prefer on that map. However, for now, we now await Sunset as the last map, something that the Sentinels has clearly been working on during the off-season, as has been proven pretty much at every event they have entered. But Team Liquid, they've kept it under wraps.
Yeah, really curious to see exactly what kind of comp Team Liquid is going to want to run. I mean, you expect Keiko on the Raze, and beyond that, you could definitely see Mystic on the Omen for sure. You're going to be going up against what you expect to be like a Breach Fade Cypher comp. You know, John QT really leaning into Cypher for most maps throughout this tournament. He had been even on Haven until this particular map. Didn't go so great this time around, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sentinels just kind of stand pat with their comp. It's just a real big question mark. You know, are you going to run Yampi on the Breach as well on it? Are you going to try something a little bit different? I mean, we've seen a lot of different takes on Sunset so far.
Saw some KO as well, another option for Yampi, but Breach seems to be a bit more iconic for the star player on Team Liquid. Bringing back the win, quite a one-sided affair as well, 13-5 against Sentinels to strike back and begin the comeback in this best of 3. Their map pick of Haven going their way for Team Liquid.
Just hide your eyes if you're a Saucy fan when the next screen comes up. Just hide your eyes.
I've been blinded. Blinded. That's rough. I mean, that's not the type of stat line we've seen at all from Saucy.
I can't remember him ever playing that bad.
But you kind of think about how the rounds went. He's always there, you know, left alone or just with one more teammate, has to go back to that pop flash duty, and this time Mystic's most times just one step ahead of him. I mean, the number of times we even witnessed live Mystic going for that anti-flash perfectly in sync shuts down the Sky as the lone initiator on the side of Sentinels. Nats rising back to the top with 22 kills and a 331 ACS. So Zekken is having a much better day today, but Sentinels will need everyone to come back online if they want to wrap